Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Canadian Girl Podcast. You're hanging out with your girl T, and today we have an extra special guest, and I've been looking forward to this moment. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ghofran. Please tell our listeners and the world who you are, what a wonderful person you are.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to this myself. Telling the world who I am sounds a little scary. Um,
They deserve to know.
but hi everyone. My name is Ghofran Alyass. I am a the author of You Have 24 Hours to Live, a memoir that talks about my journey of basically staying alive to living the life I desire. So the journey of going from staying alive to living the life I desire. Um, and I am also a professor at George Brown College, working part time.
Mhm.
And I am the founder of a not-for-profit organization called Beyond Abilities International, which is an organization that provides programs and services for people with disabilities.
Incredible. You
Thank you.
go, girl. So I had the pleasure of reading your book, your memoir, and I am, well, I've said it before. I shared your story, a little bit of my excitement for receiving
Mm-hmm.
your book, and it did not disappoint whatsoever. I learned a lot about you. I am very, very happy to have you here because I feel the world needs to know that they are missing out if they don't get a copy of this memoir. Um, you think you know somebody, you have no idea. See, I know GoFriend from we went to George Brown together, and I had the
Mm-hmm.
pleasure of meeting you there and becoming friends with you and a sisterhood now. So I am so I'm proud of you for sharing your
Thank
story.
you.
And
Thank you.
this was such a pleasure. Um, However, reading it, I realized that this could not have happened overnight. This
Mm-mm,
must have been a process for you,
mm-hmm.
and a brave, courageous, tenacious process for you. And I'm just curious if you could share with me and everybody else, what was your spark? What was that moment of spark for you that said, I need to share my story. This is important for me to do.
So it took a lot of courage, like you said. I think having read my book, you would agree that stories like mine, you would need to feel safe, um, feel like your story is going to be heard. It is going to be taken for what it is. And so it started out in 2013, the summer of 2013, after I graduated high school. And no, it started in 2013, after I lost my grandfather. He was everything. Um, and the only person I talked to about my goals, um, what was going on in school. I had gone very far in life when he arrived to Canada compared to the 10-year-old little girl that he remembers. And then when he was gone, like it was okay, that's it. So I used it as an avenue to express, to grieve, to talk, and I felt like the paper was the only thing I could talk to.
Wow.
It sounds really weird, the paper was the only thing I could talk to without getting an argumentative response, like,
Yeah.
your
Like a
feelings are not
therapy,
valid,
right?
or yeah, you're in your head too much, or it's okay, you'll get over this.
Yeah.
Responses I've literally gotten from real people. Um, and so that was the only reason I wrote my story to begin with. And um, even though that I've always felt like there's a writer in me, and I wanted to share my story from getting questions and things like that. But at that point, I was just writing it for the sake of grieving and letting out the feelings that I had sitting inside. Um, and then in 2014, I was when I started college. And then I remember because it was 2014, 2015 semester, and I was in a class in the summer of 2015 with someone that I call today a mentor, a friend, who I mentioned in the book, Will Edwards, who um, we did an exercise in class about introducing yourself and giving a professional introduction, because it was like an employment skills type of course where you get to professionally introduce yourself to the world.
Can I just share
And
something real quick? Will is
yeah,
found in your book a lot because he is, well, a rock star to say the least, to put it lightly. He has been a rock solid human being, mentor, professor, um, colleague, could I say,
yeah,
all of the above. And please, when you read the story, you will definitely get a good glimpse of that bond and that relationship because of that true support. Um,
yeah.
Real positive person.
Yeah, and I don't do him and his role justice in the book, and what he has done for me. So he started to introduce himself in the exercise to kind of give us an example of what is quote unquote expected in the exercise. And one of the things he mentioned was that his publishing experience. He's published articles,
Wow.
published for journals, done research, all the things. And I'm just looking, going, oh my God. Um, and I was like, this is someone that I can talk to about my plans, my writing, and that I've been writing this thing, and it's been tucked away, collecting dust, so to speak, because no one has seen it. So I wrote him an email and I said, I've been writing. I've had the desire to share my story. I would love your feedback on my manuscript. And that came from a place of trust, a place of feeling safe, because he was my English teacher previous to that semester. And that was where I started to feel safe. That's where I started to regain my confidence um, as a writer, as a whole human,
He
to
sounds
be
very
honest.
supportive. It's like he exposed a hidden talent that you were going to put away,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah, yeah.
this almost didn't come out, right?
Yeah, quite honestly. And it was like I had found a part of me that I thought was long gone forever and it was never going to come back. Um, because
Because of the
I
grief.
went to school yeah,
Mhm.
like because I went to college at a time where I just didn't know who the heck I am anymore.
Right.
Um, and so he's like, yeah, sure, I'd love to give you feedback. And after that, I I think like a month or so went by because this was the end of the summer, and he wrote me an email and said that I have an after school reading and writing group. How would you like to become part of it? And then share your story, get feedback on your manuscript and things like that. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yay.
Yes, it was going to be like with strange other people. Um, I call them strange, but now they've become like a second family.
And probably they felt the
And
same way almost, right? Like most of them. Some people have that natural confidence and ability to communicate or share how they feel and communicate that with others. That's a really hard thing to
yeah,
do, right? That's a skill.
yeah, and that's where it started, and it went from there to um, editing and editing it some more and getting more feedback and then editing it some more. And then in 2023, I had gone through a lot medically to the point of where I was told that you're possibly not going to make it through
Wow.
this time. Um, and then that was the point that I was like, this is it.
Yeah. Like
This
a
is it.
now or
It
never
has,
moment, right?
yeah. Like what's holding me back? It's not. It's, it, at that point, I felt like I was the one that was holding myself back from accomplishing that. And then I had found out about Amazon Direct or Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon, which allows you to self-publish.
Oh,
So you don't need an
wow.
agent. You don't need to pay upfront costs. Being someone who was finishing up or continuing my education, I had no money upfront to spend. Um,
Well,
and I
working
was
in
like,
education, it's costly, right? So, I mean, you are in the progress of moving forward in your journey and in your
yeah,
path, right? You went from your parents being told you have 24 hours to live uh, for your daughter. You go from that to your daughter's now attending college. You're aware of that beginning for you and how crucial that was. Um,
yeah.
that's a
And
terrifying step to make, to share that. And things happen for a reason. So it sounds like you you guys had met at the same time for the best purpose. Like things happen for a reason. You
yeah,
needed the
they
support
do.
and to move forward. And then
They,
you found the
yeah,
platform in order to make that a possibility, like that.
yeah,
I admire you for that because even having the idea and having the sense of even I want to do something like that and then moving forward in that direction. um,
yeah.
Publishing a book is a big deal.
And it's funny because I remember in 2023, which was when I published it, and it kind of went live on Amazon. I had sent my mom and I had sent Will the link. I just didn't say anything. I just sent it. And it was like, voila, here, like I did it. Like
Go.
so, and and I was at the time wondering like, what is going on in his head right now? Like, how'd you do it? When did you do it? When this happened?
Yeah.
Last time I remember, it was a manuscript stapled, and
Surprise.
yeah, like blah. And yeah, my mom shared it with. She's just like, send me the link, and then in minutes later, I get text messages from people that know me and her, like, congratulations on your book.
Oh,
Um, you know, I'm going to purchase it right now. And the amount of orders that came in like that day, I was like, oh my gosh. Um,
well, I'm sure they were
and
disappointed, and your family is very supportive, like very
yeah,
supportive. Like in the
yeah,
book, people will be able to read. In real life, it's just as supportive as you can portray in the book. You guys are very family
mm,
orientated and very supportive. That was not an overnight accomplishment, my dear.
mm-mm,
That
mm-mm.
was almost a 10-year uh,
Yeah,
triumph you had, like, for yourself
Yeah.
from lear-
I w-
having an
I
outlet to communicate, having a find
I was
outlet, right?
yeah, I was 17. I'm aging myself right now. I was 17 when I started writing, and I was 27 when I published.
Um,
Yeah.
and who cares if
And now I'm
anybody's good at math, because that's a huge accomplishment. Like, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you
thank you.
because um, I know you call yourself a regular plain person, and although I appreciate the humbleness that you have for
Yeah.
yourself and your character, although I do believe that you are a superhero.
Thank you.
There's no way that that was an easy process, you know.
Mm-mm.
That definitely had to come from a healing, caring, supportive
Yeah.
place.
And I think about it still, particularly after what I had gone through in high school, which you'll read in the book. But I had no confidence in my writing. None. I was like every teacher I came across in that final year of high school, particularly my resource teacher and my English teacher, was basically like, you can't write.
Well, if we can find them, I will be glad to buy them a copy of this book and send it their way, because this is a huge accomplishment. I did not put this down until I finished. I'm just so proud of you. This story, I really enjoyed this story. I felt really connected, and to know that you took time to make sure that you felt confident and you felt
Mm,
good about what you were putting out there, and the perception that you were going to portray, and the way you were going to portray that for others like myself to be able to understand and comprehend your story.
mm,
Thank you for taking that long gap and having that progress of finding out that you are an incredible author. Um,
thank you.
I am looking forward to more. If it's any
Yeah.
consolation, I am definitely looking forward to more. But that's a huge gap, right? Like
Yeah.
2013, um, also a very supportive friendship and relationship with Will to be able to conquer something like that in a group setting
Hmm.
like that.
Mm,
Kudos, because that's not an easy environment to withhold. And being able to write something so personal and so, you know, I'd say, like, this felt as if I was with you the entire way. And so to be able to write something so emotionally connected, um,
yeah.
almost almost felt like like I was living that with you, and
Oh,
and I was happy when you were happy, and I was sad when you were sad, and it's funny because even though I know you on a personal level,
mm,
and you've shared things with me, and I vice versa, you really think you know somebody um until they really open up and share something like this. This is was very incredible. I appreciate you, girlfriend. And your journey, you share your parents, right? Your parents were a
yeah.
big part of your journey. So
Yeah.
I wonder, like, how did they react to you wanting to be an author and share this journey that you were on? That was a complete uh, devastation in the beginning to a triumph, right? Like,
Yeah. So I'll break this up into multiple parts because this answer has first and foremost, I have the most supportive parents in the world. So it was it was never don't do this.
Yeah.
I'll move on to having you look at my front cover. You would have seen the quote that I put at the somewhere at the bottom.
Would you like me to say it?
Sure.
Okay. I will climb mountains for you if that's what it takes to save your life. Oh,
There you go. And those were the words
yeah.
that my dad said. That was my a father's promise to his child since they were brought into this world. Um, and I'd say that both of my parents gave up their careers. Um, my dad was a psychologist. My mom was studying to be a teacher. Um,
It
I
makes
was
sense on where you're at.
right.
Yeah.
So, um, they have their second born child, and then change happens. So if they were willing to give up their careers to make sure this human stays alive, um, I don't think that they would say no to, hey, mom and dad, I'm thinking of being a published author. I know that sounds a little
Right.
crazy. Um, and also, the fact that what I did, and I did this in a very interesting way. Um, I did not tell my parents about, well, I had told them that I was writing.
Oh,
I
what did
had
you
told them
do?
I was told, I told them that I was, I had the desire to publish and they were always supportive, yada, yada, yada. And, I then, when this book was published, I sent the link, the Amazon link to both my mom and my dad. And my dad was out of the country at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he was like, wait, what? What did you do? And I was like, that.
That's
I did
incredible.
that. Yeah. And
Surprise.
I could just see the joy in his voice, in his eyes, in his everything.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, send me the link. And that's all okay, I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. I sent her the link, and throughout that day, I'm getting people messaging me, congratulations, I'm being a published author, da 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 da.
Um, I'm a difficult one to get attention, keep my attention to grasp.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm not
And
good with those things. And this kept
and
my attention and I did not put it down until I finished it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah, and you had shared that this was the first book that you picked up in a long time. I'll just say that. And that really, 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 really meant a lot. And I'm thinking of that's something that I will mention in um, uh, the group that I'm a part of still, that kind of brought this book to life. Um, because it means a lot for an author to hear that,
Well,
especially one as young as I am that
so
has.
I don't really share I don't really share that part, but you know what? I will. I will. Here's the deal. I also suffer from a disability. I have a brain injury. I
Mhm.
I love to read. I love the smell of the books. I used to read all the time, and after my injury in 2016, I could not read past 15 minutes without a lot of pain, migraines, and anyways, anybody who suffers from brain injury can understand. If not, it's
And
excruciating. It's hard to take in the
yeah,
information. It's
yeah,
hard to keep interest. There's a lot of things behind it. So
yeah.
when you
And
came to me and you shared that you were going to be writing this story and you were sharing your link with me the first time, I hesitated. And I don't think
yeah,
I've ever shared this with you. I hesitated. I had a thought of I didn't want to disappoint you and not support you because you're very
oh,
supportive to me in my life,
thank you.
and the love is real. However, if I bought it and I didn't read it, how supportive would that been, right? So I was at a
Yeah,
very teeter-totter place in my own life. Um,
yeah,
but when I got the courage and like yourself, courage is a big deal, right? Like it takes a lot of
it is.
mm.
It is.
uh I bought this book in 2025. It's 9 years into my injury, and it was the best best investment I made because not only did I learn a lot about you.
Hmm.
You think you know somebody, you have no idea. This was really incredible and very vivid in your life and sharing that
Yeah,
um the the steps that you had to take and the choices that you had to make. You know,
yeah.
um so it encouraged me. It encouraged me to do what I'm doing right now and
And
interview you and have this podcast.
that's my hope in this book. Because as I said, I'm someone who's heard no since the day I was born, and I still hear it. Um,
Do you
and
really?
yeah. And but what I've learned is I can't hear you,
That's right.
or you would have you would you would have heard this very common saying, when people say no, I say watch me.
That's right.
Well, I have to tell people watch me.
Oh, don't
And
take Ghofran for a soft one here. She's a tough cookie. She's a very smart tough cookie. She is.
yeah, so it and that's what I want people to get out of reading this book, and that um you do you set your own journeys. You're gonna be told you can't do this, can't do that. That's a no.
Right.
This is impossible. All the things, whether you're disabled or not.
Right.
Um,
That's right. And like
because
one of the parts in your book, I want to share real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off.
it's okay.
I actually wrote this down because these really stuck out to me, and I please, if you don't purchase this book, try to win this book at the giveaway. This book is incredible. So page 6, that page you shared with, if at first you don't succeed, try again and don't lose hope. Um that was a mantra that was repeated consistently, and I feel what I got from that was you went from being diagnosed to being completely undefeated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And to me, that's why I always, and on a personal side, I always envision you as a superhero, right? Because it's like
yeah,
that to me is uh where people see barriers and where people see divides, you see
yeah,
a bridge
yeah,
or a wall to demolish. And then I got to page 34, and I got to tell you, I cried because when you when you go from the beginning of your story and and then you go from you have 24 hours to live to you're never going to be appreciated or considered or acknowledged or negatives, nothing but negatives, but surrounded by a very supportive, uh, positive force you have to coming here to you graduated. You were able
Mm-hmm.
to graduate and make it in front of somebody, many people that love you and supported you through this process. But
Mm-hmm.
as one person rings through this whole story is Will, right? And he helped you spark this journey, um, even even through your process of your education and even now being an educator, right? Um, that moment of complete triumph was very emotional for me, for you, but for me because it was very emotional. I really cried.
Yeah.
I did. I had to take a minute and just be like, you know, I didn't realize that you were going through all these things when we were in the same cohort. I didn't realize, right? And we
Yeah.
shared little things. We don't share those things like to that
Yeah.
extent, you know.
Yeah.
So I was celebrating for you. I was crying. I was doing the ugly cry. I was doing the whole shabam. I was like,
You're
wow.
about
And
to
I
make me do
messaged
the ugly cry.
you. Don't do it.
Um, but yeah, I think, and like I'm picturing that moment that you're talking about too, which is kind of weird because uh, I haven't visualized my writing or my journey since I got rid of that manuscript and kind of put it to publishing. Um, and yeah, so
That's a heavy duty one, right? Like that's a real
and
like reflect. That is the people that had told you no, never, you don't, you're not valued. I wish they could have been there too. You
um,
put them.
yeah.
Mm,
So
mm,
like in hearing you say that, um, there's a lot to think about for me. But in hearing you talk about like how I bring up hope as something that held me through, you know, this entire journey, because that's all I had.
yeah,
Because when someone comes up to your face and says no, 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 and tells you the most awful things you could imagine, like I, as a child, like who didn't know much, I wasn't one that heard that statement up front. Like, I wasn't the one that was told to my face, you're gonna die.
yeah.
My parents did.
But you can feel that as a child, right? Like you can totally feel there's an ominous.
When I was mature enough to hear, and like I was at doctor's appointments, and I remember,
Wow.
um, like times where I heard that statement, you're you're not gonna make it, you're gonna die. That was hard. And
Yeah,
it
that would be
and
terrifying.
my appreciation for my parents grows and grows and grows and grows and grows every time I hear that in my ears and see how I feel and then imagine how they felt. Um and so there was that. So all I had was hope
Yeah,
because when somebody comes to your face and says all these terrible things that I heard, you can choose to boohoo about it and just be like, okay, I surrender, I quit. Um, or be like, there has to be a better answer.
Right.
And that's what my parents taught me. There has to be a better answer. And my mom is a particular person that taught me that lesson in that because sometimes she'll be like, ask this person what they think, ask this person what they think, ask this person for their opinion. And sometimes I either get lazy or I just get sick and tired of asking people. And it's just like, I don't want to hear that
Right.
anymore. But looking at it from that angle and talking about it now, um, that's that's how that's how hope was instilled in me. Was through her as one of the people. So there was that. And then the second thing that you said in describing that scene, um, in the book, um, where Will was actually at that graduation.
Yes.
Um, he came just for me. I'll
Right.
say it loud,
Yeah.
right?
Say it loud for
Um,
people in the back.
yeah, and um, I and that brings me back to something that a friend of mine said. Um, I remember it so clearly. This was a few years back. We were having a conversation, and Will was a part of it. And she said, and she was talking about his journey of, doing his PhD research and then formulating this group and such. And she was like, you only need one person that cares.
And that's all it took.
One person that cares.
I mean, you had a few, but I mean, for this educational journey that you've been on, right? I mean, he's
Yeah,
been the key really for to open those
yeah,
doors for you. I mean, um, it sounds like had he not been at the right place at the right time and you as well, that could have went totally different. But instead,
yeah,
you guys share this amazing journey together now.
yeah. And yeah, so you only need one person that cares.
And so
And
would that be one thing that you would like all these listeners to understand and to take with them? Like, don't give up hope. And you really only need one person who cares,
yeah.
right?
And to add to that is because through, of course, my parents bringing me up, and then through Will being a part of my life and bringing that, my friend calls it bringing the glow back, bringing that light back, um, is that don't give up.
Right.
Don't give up on you. Because I also like in being mentored, I've seen the power and the value of mentorship, and that gotten me to mentor other people. Um, and you know, help them find where they're supposed to be. So I said, and I'd say like, don't give up on yourself because um, if you're in it, you're gonna find that one person that cares,
Mhm. I love
right?
them. So,
Yeah,
girlfriend, what can we expect from you in the future? Because your story is not done here.
it's
I
not.
need to know if there's going to be more. I am kind of addicted.
Yeah, there will be more. There's so far a book two and a book three.
We're going
Um,
to have you back on.
yeah, so I'm very slowly working through book two, which is not yet a sequel to this one. But it talks about all the knowns I was told, right? It Spoiler alert, it is going to be called You'll Never Do This, they said. Um, so and
Yay.
that's gonna talk about all the no's I heard and
Never listened.
never listened. And you know, so
Yeah.
and the lesson behind that is you're gonna be told no, and you'll say, "Watch me." And there's literally a chapter in that book.
Well, some of the best,
Um,
right? They usually say in interviews and whatnot, like, how many times did I think that this was never going to happen, or I was told no. But the best of the best are the best of the best are the ones that he, hear it, but don't listen.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You definitely
yeah,
fall under that category.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I that's in my future. I also hope I hope to continue writing, and um in terms of my teaching, I hope to continue that as well because that is really where I found my place. And that comes from my journey and having my college experience and that be influenced by someone like Will. Uh, so I
You
hope to
will become
be
that one person for somebody else.
maybe. So uh, I hope to continue to be there for my students in the ways that he was there for me. And hopefully I can also continue to invest in my organization because that organization was also born out of my own personal experience of um, not finding those supports and then eventually finding them.
And your
Um,
non-for-profit organization is called Beyond Abilities
Beyond Abilities International.
International. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do, it does support individuals with disabilities at an international level. Um, and that has been something my dad has been the anchor in as well, helping me through, connections and um, this is and
Again,
like kind of
support.
people to reach out to and support and give that helping hand. Um, but yeah, that that
So
no,
I am so excited and I am looking forward to book two. And you know what? Honestly, um, this doesn't need like a part one, part two. Um, Girl, you're just a really great writer. Like you really captivated me through the whole journey. I like I said before, I'm really hard to keep attention to, and my attention span is it's like almost like a guppy fish sometimes, But but like I was intrigued. I needed more. So thank you for telling me and everybody else that we can be looking forward to uh more writing from you, more literature. Anything from you is great. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, and man, if I could tell you how much that means and how that feels to hear that because um I've had the 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 doubters and naysayers and people who have had different opinions about this book and they're like, it ends, but I'm like, no, it doesn't. Um, there's more. And
Right?
um I felt the need to break it up in parts because um it was also a message that you think it ends somewhere. You think that I'm done doing all the things that I need to do, but no, I'm not.
Right?
So, it's like take this in and then there's more to come.
Yeah, and the structure, right? I just want to chime in on that too. The structure, I really appreciated the structure. The structure helped me um, take in the value of the message that you were trying to portray in each part, and
Yeah.
also made me comprehend the journey aspect,
Mhm.
um, like as if I was right there with you. And I
Thank you.
feel like you knew what the structure needed to be for the message and the point that you were trying to make in regards to sharing your story, and for us to understand it, you know, and not take it for our own
Mm.
value, to take it for what you valued it for. So, um, that was a tremendous job. I just want to say
Thank you.
thank you for coming today, and
Thank you.
um, please, please, I'm going to be putting this in the link. You have to go to our website, check out our organization. Please, please, please. You are
And once you
missing out.
go to my website, my socials are already there. So I'm always happy to connect with people, new readers, and get to know you at a personal level. If there's something that stood out to you, if questions come up, um, I know that I didn't answer every question that you have in this book, so reach out.
Yeah, reach out. Please reach out. And thanks for joining us, GoFriend. And thanks for all our listeners. And thank you for joining us on the first interview at the Canadian Girl Podcast. You're hanging with your girl T. GoFriend, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm one of the first interviewees, so yay.
Yay!
Yeah.
And Canadian girls, we're out.